All right, folks. I'm always touching on something that most mentors don't talk about. So, narrative versus bias. What does this mean? Um, you know what daily bias is, which is basically the direction on a day. But what is narrative? What is daily narrative? Narrative, in short, is basically how price is going to deliver the day's direction. What is it going to do first? What P rates is it going to hit? What is it going to do in a higher time frame? Basically, the specifics and the characteristics of the day, but bias is simply the direction of the day. We can say, oh, the daily bias is bearish. Duh, right? Just looking at the chart on our screen. But do we know how price is going to deliver that bearishness? Is it going to retrace at 10 o'clock? Is it going to purge buy some liquidity at 11:30? Is it going to run a higher time frame order block? Is it going to disrespect a inversion fair value gap? What is it going to do? That's basically what narrative is. It's like I said, the characteristics and the specifics of what happens throughout the day before or after or during the actual day's delivery of it delivering the daily bias. Now, let me go over a day that was pretty what's the word? It's basically describing what I'm talking about. So let's go over this day right here. This was really, really nice. I can't believe I missed this move, honestly. What is this? Thursday, March 26th, 2026? I said 6th, but 2026. What I was expecting, right, for my buys, obviously bearish. I wanted price to go down, but my narrative on the day, what I was expecting or anticipating price to do, was to finish out first, before we did anything, was to finish out this price delivery cycle that price was currently in. Let me just hold on. Let me just go to the 15-minute and go back to it. Here it is. I wanted price to finish this price delivery cycle it was currently in, which was the consolidation, the expansion, then it kept expanding, kept expanding, kept expanding, kept expanding. So if we want to go down, we're likely going to retrace back up into this expansion lower so we can actually continue lower. Real simple, right? Nothing too hard. Now back to the 5 minute. Oh my god, there's some mucus in my throat. I'm always like having some sort of like nerve when I'm trying to teach, bro. It's either I got mucus in my throat, I'm stuttering for some reason, or I just have brain fog. I don't know why that happens. I must be gotta be the Mossad. Anyway, um, here's 9:30. Let me go ahead and mark 9:30 right there. What I was expecting was for the first 30 minutes of the opening range, since that's the, preparation for the markets to, prepare before it actually delivers lower. I wanted it to use 9:30 to 10 o'clock to retrace into this swing here. This entire swing lower right there, if I can even mark it. I wanted it to, oh, wow, that happened? I didn't even see that. Look at that. That's crazy. I did not even see that until I actually just drew it. But anyway, I wanted to see price retrace back up into this expansion so we could officially offer manipulation in some way, shape, or form. See that's the massage trying to get me. But in some way, shape, or form, price has to manipulate, in which I was expecting it to do that in the form of a retracement of this expansion lower. Now, that's just the narrative part. That's just the narrative part. And I solidified that expectation by seeing if it does retrace, what is it going to be hitting? What is it going to be taking out? Basically, what is it going to be doing when it's retracing? Now, let's turn off the kill zone so we can have a clearer view, obviously. That's still 9:30. That's the vertical line. Now, just looking at the 5 minute, and I think that's where I did most of my analyzation on, I was looking to see these equal highs get ran right there, in which after those equal highs got ran, I wanted to see these highs right here get ran since it's, right above these highs here. So anything above this point is basically biased to liquidity except for this gap. I wanted to see this gap also get touched. Pause. But I wanted to see this gap get touched just as some form of reference before price began delivering lower. In which I didn't even notice this equilibrium part. Like I did not notice that got respected like that. Well, it didn't even get touched, but that's even better. I did not even peep that. But if you want to add that on for, actual hindsight, then yeah, I guess you could say, "Oh my god, yeah, I expected this, and I thought it was gonna respect the equilibrium on the day." I did not expect that, but I'm just looking and seeing how nice that is. That's super, super clean. But for the retracement, I was expecting to take out buy side, reach into the fair value gap since the fair value gap is right above it, and I think there was some sort of 30-minute order block in the same area as that fair value gap. Let me go back to it. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it was. Pretty sure. I think. Or I might be retarded. Wait. Okay, that's the fair value gap. Well, yeah, I might be stupid. Yeah, I might be stupid. Wait, hold. I swear there was something there. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Okay, I know I wasn't tripping. It was that propulsion block off of this order block right here. That candle. Then this candle retraces up into it. Deepest up close retracing into this order block here. turned into a propulsion block. I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew it was some order block that I was looking at in which it is this propulsion block right there. And back to the 5 minute we go. Oh, okay, here we go. My bad. Relocated us. Now, this propulsion block and fair value gap on top of each other, expecting the retracement back into this run before the day begins delivering lower or before the daily bias is actually delivered. This is what I was expecting. This is narrative, okay? You got to understand the characteristics of price, what it wants to do, and basically all the specifics, criticals, and the little details that price may execute before it actually delivers the daily buys. Now, sometimes price won't even need to do all this. If it's already accumulated, it's already manipulated, it's already referenced something, it's already purged liquidity, and price can just go. It can just do its thing. But recently, for the past 60 days, that's yes, that's not been happening at all. Like if we just go to the daily, oh boy, this is gonna look oh yeah, this okay. Yeah, this looks horrible. I got no trades this week. Okay, yeah. I guess we can do this day since it was kind of retarded, but pretty obvious. Now, geez, this price delivery cycle keeps popping up, but there's so many examples and so many concepts can be referenced off of it. Anyway, accumulation or consolidation, expansion. Then we have the reversal. Now, obviously, pre-market usually does not deliver 312 points. Obviously, right? I don't think I have to explain that. Now, since we know that, what's going to happen? The first 30 minutes are going to what? Accumulate. I don't. Come on, we know the drill. If pre-market does something stupid like this, a couple things you're going to see. One, no, if it delivers like over 200 points, then you're likely going to see the entire AM session barely go anywhere. You might see just one run, and that's that many run right here. You might see one run, and then it starts just retracing and accumulating again, in which that's exactly what happens. So if we go to when I'm not going to drop any time frame because we can see it right here, but starting from 9:30 to 10, what happens? It accumulates, of course. That's normal. If pre-market just not necessarily displaces, but if it moves and doesn't consolidate per usual, then you're likely going to see 9:30 to 10 o'clock accumulate, in which that rule does play out. But since we just dropped, like we just dumped, then we're likely going to see the entire AM session accumulate. This is the narrative part that I was expecting. The narrative was to see the entire AM session accumulate due to how long this move really was. Like, not long as in, time, but just long as in like Drake candle. Like, you get what I'm saying. I don't think I have to explain any further. But I don't know why I just referenced Drake right there, but you get what I'm saying. From 9:30 to 11:30, which is 3 hours, it accumulated. It did accumulate. After 11:30, I wanted to see it continue this run lower since we did kind of, well, no, we did retrace into it according to this price delivery cycle starting from right here. It created another one, which is consolidation, expansion, a large expansion too. Then it retraces into it around 9:30 and accumulates within that range, in which it does purge that high and reach into that fair value gap. So that's pretty dope. And then it reaches into that order block too. Hey, a lot of reference right there. How do I keep missing this? That's crazy. You see that? It purges that high, right? References this gap and the order block all in the same wick. That's impressive. Very impressive. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, based off of this price delivery cycle, we consolidated, expanded, then around the first 30 minutes, I expected it to retrace into this swing. I obviously accumulate too because of how long, not long, but how high magnitude the pre-market's expansion was. That's 300 points. Pre-market is usually not supposed to do that, but it's okay. That led to 9:30 and 11:30, 9:30 through 11:30 to accumulate, or basically not go anywhere that entire time, in which after 11:30 it should expand. Now, 11:30 is supposed to prepare before it expands, in which when I say prepare, I mean set the tone. Basically like preparing dinner before wife comes home, or preparing dinner before your husband comes home for my female viewers. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So from let me delete the 9:30 line because I'm not paying attention to that anymore. So from 11:30 to 1:30, I wasn't necessarily anticipating that it was going to prepare, but I had the idea that price could do two things. Like I said, when it comes to the knowing your bias or just having a narrative, you want to have two sides. You always want to have two or more sides just to have a backup plan. Like I was expecting price to expand during this time, but I was like, okay, since it had such a large expansion overnight, I'm like, okay, it could still prepare itself because lunch macro is like in between 11, not 11, but AM session and PM session. So it could use this time to prepare, in which it did. 11:30 kicked in, accumulated, dropped down into this low, used that low as liquidity to propel itself back up, reaching into that short-term high there. I don't think it purges that. Oh wait, no, it does actually purge that high. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, wow, that's dang, that's impressive. This is what I know. Jesus, that's crazy. If you look into it, hold on, let me just show you if I can even zoom in on it. My God, look at that. I'm thinking it broke that intermediate term high, but no, price still respected the factor of the intermediate term high, which I should change it to that right now. It respected it by 1 tick. Look on the side. Look on the price meter on the side. Hold on, look at this. Look right here. 1 tick. That's crazy. So, it respecting that, you hear the mucus is trying to, kick my butt. But it respecting that is supporting my narrative that price is what? It's preparing and manipulating and doing everything it can before the time comes, which is basically after 11:30, but it continued to run after not 11:30, but 1:30. It continued this retracement after 1:30 to I guess I really don't know, but to basically manipulate, it didn't really purge this high because it's an intermediate term high and it's not supposed to purge it. But you get the point. It's still preparing in general, accumulating, retracing, doing whatever it has to do. So since it's done that and it's now, what's that? What is that? What is this called again? I keep forgetting the kill zone. New York close. Since it's New York close, price should start delivering. In which after 130 is the what macro? 150 right here. Let's look at this. 150. Look at the time down here. 150. And if we move over to 210, after the macro ends, it starts delivering. And it starts delivering beautifully. Now, this should be pretty easy to apply because all it is just you're just putting concepts together again and looking at the true characteristics of price and what it may do throughout the day. That is literally it. Bias is direction, narrative is characteristics. That's it. Understood? Okay, just making sure. This is the end of narrative versus bias. I hope I taught you this well. This should help you when it comes to determining biases and having a bit more precision when it comes to your anticipatory skill development. Anyway, enough of me yapping. I'll be in this video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck and good trading.